Hey, how's it going? Just got back from vacation not too long ago, and in the company I work for, we have unlimited PTO. And when I first joined the company, I heard that we had unlimited PTO. I was like, this is fantastic. Take as much time off as you want. It sounds like a pretty good deal. In my previous employer, we would accrue a certain number of hours every paycheck. And the longer you were there, you could accrue more hours per paycheck up to, I think it was like 6 years. Once you hit 6 years, you were maxed out at the number of hours you would accrue. And I think it accrued to like 6 weeks a year. But the great thing about it was you could cash out vacation. And so you could cash out up to, I think, 2 weeks of vacation a year, but you had to take the time off. So if you took a week of vacation, you could also cash out a week of vacation. And it actually worked out really well because I really wasn't taking a whole lot of time off. And this just helped me get more money in my bank account. You know, wasn't gonna take the time off, so why not actually just use the time and then bank out the rest of it? And this really worked out well for a while. Now that I'm in a place where I've got unlimited PTO, I thought it was a great thing, and I still do actually. I think it is a great thing. But when I got online and started thinking about this and seeing videos, I heard that unlimited PTO is actually looked at kind of negatively because a lot of companies use it as a way of getting people to not take off time. And I know there's situations out there where if you leave the company, in like my previous employer, I actually had like 6 weeks of vacation when I left them, and so they paid it all out. Now, if I leave this company, there's no vacation that I get to get paid out. And so that is kind of a drag from it. But I wanted to see like what you all thought as a benefit. Do you have unlimited PTO? Is this something that you enjoy? Are there downfalls to it? And I kind of wanted to explore the topic a little bit more. There are gonna be some hidden pressures when it comes to unlimited PTO. I know that when I first heard about it, the first question I asked was like, how much can I take off? Now, I didn't really take off a lot of time, but I still wanted to understand what the system looked like. How much time could I actually take off? I mean, unlimited PTO, does that mean that I could take off 6 months, 8 months out of the year? No, there are some things that you have to kind of abide by. And so that's why I think like talking about it from an unlimited PTO perspective, kind of give it an unfair advantage to what you're actually getting from a benefit standpoint. Now, there are some great things about it because you can just take off time off and you don't have to worry about, do I have the accumulated time? And as somebody that was starting off with the company, it does sometimes suck when you have to accrue that time. So you have to wait like a year before you can actually take a vacation. With this, you don't have to do that. You can actually take a vacation pretty quickly after you start with the company. But that kind of puts people into an awkward time frame where they don't know how much time they should be taking and how much time they should have been here before they take that time off. I remember there was an employee that started with me at the time that actually reported directly to me, and I think it was like 3 months after he had started, he was like, I wanted to take a vacation. Do you think it's too soon for me to take a week off? Me personally, I was like, no. I mean, you've got the time, take it. We're not busy, go for it. And so we did. And that's the question I tend to get from time to time is like, when should I take time off and how much time should I take off? And I can understand that. You don't want to be looked at negatively by taking too much time off, but it's a benefit to you. And so you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that benefit whenever you feel it's necessary. And I think taking time off is a good way to kind of take yourself away from work and kind of recenter yourself, kind of getting back into the swing of things when you get back. And there's a potential where work-life balance actually gets affected by unlimited PTO. Like I said, there's a lot of times where people don't know when or how much time they should take off. And so what tends to happen is people don't take enough time off. And it's hard to think that you could feel burnout with unlimited PTO. But again, if you're not taking advantage of those programs out there, you don't know when you should take that time off. And so burnout actually happens pretty easily. And it can affect things like your work-life balance when it comes to understanding when that clear break is. And unlimited PTO gives you the opportunity to do that. And that's why doing so in smaller chunks can also help out. So when you think about unlimited PTO, don't be thinking about taking 1, 2, 3, or 4 weeks off at a time. Think about taking 1 or 2 days off a week every now and then. Those extra days off can actually break up the week really nicely, especially when you need it, and it can allow you to use the benefits that are afforded to you with the unlimited PTO without taking such a big chunk of it. Now, there may be times where you need those big chunks and take those big chunks when you need to, but utilize those spurts every once in a while to really gain perspective on what this benefit can do for you and your work career. I think one of the biggest hindrances when it comes to unlimited PTO is really going to be the leadership. How much time are they going to be okay with when you take the time off? Me personally, I want everyone to be able to take as much time as they need in order to feel satisfied in their job, take breaks, avoid burnout, whatever the case may be. And so there's a lot of times where there'll be a holiday on a Thursday and the next day is Friday. I'm always telling people, why don't you take the day off? Enjoy the very nice long weekend. You don't have to come back to work. And I think it's awkward sometimes for people to hear that because there's so much going around from a cost perspective where people are like, I just want people to work as much as they possibly can, and I don't want you to take time off. Me personally, I'm always looking at those opportunities. If there's a Tuesday or Wednesday off, take the rest of the week. If there's a Tuesday or Wednesday off, come in late and work the last couple days. Whatever the case may be, I think it's up to you. But again, that leadership side of things really does make an impact, because if you have people that don't really want others to take time off, or maybe they don't take time off, like I said, I don't really take a whole lot of time off, and I can always say that I need to lead by example. But that's the thing, is that I always tell my people, I may not take time off, but I absolutely want you to take time off when you need to. Don't look at me as the example of taking time off. I know when I need to take time off. I know when I need to get away for the weekend or step away for a couple extra days or maybe take a 2-week vacation. But when you feel it, that's when you need to take it. And if you need it more often than not, that's why we have it. But if the leaders out there are not promoting this, if they're making you feel guilty, that's a discussion that I think you need to have very early and very often with your leaders to make sure they understand that this is a benefit to you and you want to be able to take advantage of it so that you can come back crisp, clean, and ready to work. Thanks so much for watching. I think unlimited PTO has a lot of great benefits out there. I do think that there are some cases where maybe the company can take advantage of it, or they're hoping that people don't use the time off that's afforded to them. But I do think that there's some things that you can do to make it worth your while. I'd be curious, for those of you out there that are on an unlimited plan, what is it that you do to make it best for your benefit, where you're not necessarily impacting the company as much? Those situations out there I think can help others in utilizing unlimited PTO to the best of their advantage. If you haven't had a chance, do me a favor and take a look at some of the videos I've got posted. Remember, elevating yourself to the next level, it starts with a single step. Take your step today. We'll see you next time.